This movie review is brought to you by Soft Shallow. Duel was Steven Spielberg's feature-length directorial debut and stars Dennis Weaver. A businessman while commuting is aggressively pursued by an unhinged driver of a massive tractor-trailer. Steven Spielberg is an icon. All of us film fans know and love him. He is the greatest filmmaker of all time, in my opinion. I don't see anyone else ever taking his place, maybe in 1,000 years, but as of right now, he is the best. Admittedly though, until now, I had never seen Steven Spielberg's feature-length directorial debut, Duel, a movie that is talked about as a cult classic by many in 2021, a movie that came out 50 years ago actually, in 1971. The bulk of this movie is exactly what you would expect to see from the directorial debut of an iconic director, because for great directors, their first films are never their best films. For Steven Spielberg, he had better films come out after this one, like Jaws or E.T., the Indiana Jones franchise, and many other iconic films that we all know and regard as some of the best films in film history. Dennis Weaver is the star in Duel, and he does a great job as the sole character of the entire film. It's always really difficult to act in a movie where your character is the centerpiece in the film. For Dennis Weaver's character in this movie, the entire thing revolves around him. There are no other major characters. He's the sole character in this movie, and he takes a stage front and center. I thought he knocked it out of the park in Duel. He's somebody that feels like he's constantly in danger, and his facial expressions tell the whole story. But what I mostly love about Duel is the idea of the tractor trailer that is tracking down Dennis Weaver's character. Because while somebody is clearly driving the truck, it feels like the truck is operating on its own. That right there was the smartest decision made by Steven Spielberg for Duel. What's scarier? Seeing a truck driver's face operating a truck and knowing who the guy is, just a regular truck driver, or not seeing the person who's driving the truck, and it might lead you to believe that the truck has a mind of its own. I'm picking the truck. Steven Spielberg himself even said, fear of the unknown is perhaps the greatest fear of all. So the truck itself is absolutely one of the best and scariest aspects of the film Duel. We saw the same thing in Jaws, where Steven Spielberg decided not to show the shark for the first half of the movie, and that left us to believe that it might not be a shark, or we weren't really quite sure what it was. Everything from the sound design to the truck's look to these horrifying shots made this movie a lot more terrifying than it probably would have been had we seen the driver. And this movie is at its peak when we're seeing these chase scenes between Dennis Weaver's character in his car and this tractor trailer. Every single time we see these two battling it out is where the film got my attention the most. It's that classic edge of your seat Steven Spielberg filmmaking that we saw in Jaws and Raiders of the Lost Ark and countless other great Steven Spielberg films, but we saw it here first, so we gotta give this film the most amount of credit since this is where Steven Spielberg did it first. I do have a few issues though. This of course is expected for a directorial debut. The film gets a tad bit silly. It's a little over the top. It reminds me of a much better version of that movie Unhinged, which oddly enough I watched for the first time last week, and oh yeah, that movie sucks. And there really isn't much else to Duel other than Dennis Weaver being tracked down by this tractor trailer. It's one of those films where you can turn your brain off for an hour and 30 minutes and find a lot of enjoyment, but if you're looking for a movie that has great characters or an incredible story, you're not going to find it here. This one is just there purely for your entertainment and does that really well. The acting is really good. The edge of your seat filmmaking is all there. Some horror elements are also placed in Duel. This is a well-made movie by Steven Spielberg. Definitely a good start for his career. And we all know what came for Spielberg after Duel, an iconic career to say the least. And I am giving Duel a 71%. Alright, for those of you who happen to see Duel, be sure to let me down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. Also, I do want to apologize real quickly to my subscriber, Soft Shallow, who requested that I review this movie. I apologize it took me so long to get to Duel, but hey, I finally did it. I just had a lot of other things on my plate, like work and doing some other jobs that I've quickly picked up over the last couple of months, as well as having a lot of other reviews and video essays to get through. So yes, I want to apologize to you just because it took me such a long time. But if you guys have any other suggestions or requests for me to get to, let me know down below in the comment section. So this weekend we got one HBO Max movie as well as a new Saw movie starring Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. Is that for real? And as always, guys, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.